everyone, and welcome back to the Chill Survival series. Today we're making an even bigger spot for villagers at our base, allowing us to finally start getting even more enchantments for our tools and armor. We have a huge project to do today, so let's get started. So we have a slight issue with some of our tools. Yeah, they're pretty much always on the verge of shattering into a million pieces because we don't have unbreaking on half of them. And you know what? I've got to admit, that is definitely Past Drift's fault. Back when I built this villager area over here, I had only gotten villagers for mending and also stick trades, when in reality I probably should have gotten a villager breeder set up first and then worried about the enchantments later. Because now the time has come where I need unbreaking, and unfortunately all I have over here is this guy who sells me mending, riptide, and mending. I'm kind of unsure why I would want 36 emerald mending when I have 28 emerald mending. Sir, you need better sales practices. Dude's definitely just trying to scam me. So I think it's looking like we need to do a bit of a village upgrade today. And it looks like that's gonna start off with a bit of an adventure. Now, before we go anywhere, I need to make sure I have my bed, which I do, and I'm gonna need a little bit more food. Because in order to get this villager breeder set up, we're gonna have to go find some more villagers. And of course, finding more villagers requires us to travel to far and distant lands. And you know I'm not doing that on an empty stomach. All right. Lovely to see you all again. I require some food. Not all at once, not all at once. All right, perfect. Cows have been fed, and now it's time for Drift to be fed. Sorry. All right, 29 steak should be good for this journey. And of course, my boat seems to be missing. I probably put it somewhere different, so let's go make one really quickly. I've got to be honest, I haven't really adventured outside our base in quite some time. I've just been super busy with projects around the base, and it's just really cozy over here, so I haven't really had a need to go elsewhere. But today that is all going to change because we are finally gonna fix our villager problem as soon as I make myself another boat. Let's be real though, I probably have a stash of these hidden around the base somewhere. All right, looks like we finally have everything, so I think we're ready to head off. Now I'm gonna be traveling back to one of the villages where we found our original villagers. That's because when the 120 update hit, I ended up having to trim some of the chunks around our base in hopes that some of the 120 features would generate. So basically what I did was I used a program that allows you to trim chunks and reset them. And in that process, I actually ended up accidentally wiping this village, so any damage that I had done to it prior has now been restored. So unless this biome has changed over to a cherry biome, which it probably likely hasn't, that means we'll have a fresh, untouched village for us to gather up some villagers from. Now, if I can only remember where this thing is though, I think it might be somewhere over here. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. All right, yeah, so this village has fully been restored. All of the villagers are back in their place. And as you can see, I did a lot of damage to this house previously, and it is all looking nice and tidy again. Perfect for me to probably destroy once more. All right, so I guess maybe I should just start off by gathering up a villager. Well, I mean, that was easy. Well, that's pretty much all I probably have to do. Seems easy enough. All right, my guy, let's go over to our base. You know, this village is pretty ideal to bring villagers back from. It's on top of a mountain, so I can use this boat the whole time to get back to the river, which means I don't have to constantly break it and walk the villagers around using workbenches. And then as soon as we get to the river, it's a clear-cut home. This seems easy. Too easy. All right, off we go. And it's time to bring our first villager home. Dude has suddenly decided he no longer wants to be a farmer. He got away from his village and said, you know what? Maybe there's a different career path for me. And you know what, buddy? There isn't. I'm just gonna make you a farmer again. I'm sorry. All right, buddy. Welcome to your new home. Except your new home is actually just gonna be this dirt hut for now until I grab the other villager because I really don't want anything bad to happen to you. Bro, I had to build this up one block higher because his big head is in the way. All right, villager number 1 secured. And with that, we are on our way to get villager number 2. Let's hope this is as easy as the first one. Hello? Does anybody want to come hang out with me? Hello? Oh, there's somebody there. Hi, do you want to come back with me? Come on, get in the boat. Get in the boat, get in the boat. Oh, it worked. Okay. All right, now I just have to go down this way, and I think we should be good because we're still at the top of the hill. So as long as we maneuver around some of this stuff, it should be a clear cut to the river. Ah, get out of here, leaves. Ah, You seem very unbothered by this, villager. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just here for the snacks. Oh, gotta avoid that pit. It's like a professional racetrack. They don't call me Drift for nothing, all right? Watch yourself. And we are off. Let's go. Why was this so easy? Usually stuff like this can be pretty difficult. And I feel like I had a really easy time doing this. But who knows, maybe this whole thing's gonna go off without a hitch. All right, buddy, welcome to your new home. Oh, there's a sign here that says I have to parallel park, okay. Let me just straighten myself out here. Oh, wrong way. Okay. Yep. Sorry, I'll just be a second. Yep, and I think we are good right there. Perfect. All right, so just like the other villager, you, my friend, are going to go into a temporary box. And we'll give you a little light so you can continue reading your Goosebumps books. Don't get too scared now. And let's close this off. All right, so we have our 2 villagers contained in their safety pods. I'm just trying to make the dirt hut situation sound a lot nicer than it is. And safety pod sounded like, you know, I don't know, just nicer than a dirt pod. So I guess these guys are probably gonna have to stay in here until we build them a nice house to live in. Now all we have to figure out is where we're gonna build this house for them. We're probably gonna have to build this thing a little bit bigger, because since this is a villager breeder, we're gonna have to be able to fit quite a few beds in there in order for the villagers to properly spawn. Now this is the area where we keep most of our villagers. Well, I mean, the 2 that we have. But I always did imagine this area to kind of be a little village amongst the base. So I'm wondering if we have enough space to actually put this build over here. I mean, this seems to be a fairly big patch of land. I feel like we could potentially fit a build within here. That would just mean we'd have to do some terraforming to flatten things out a bit. And as you can see, this shovel only has a little bit more juice left in it, so this is a little bit of a problem. But that's okay because we have this skeleton spawner which can help bring this thing back to life until we get that sweet unbreaking. And then we won't have to spend so much time down here. Although I really love this build and it's actually surprisingly a cozy space, I'm kind of sick of having to repair my tools all the time. All right, our shovel and axe are all healed up, so I think we're ready to go. Now, hopefully that's the last time we're gonna have to do this for a while, because by the time we're done this build today, we should theoretically have unbreaking on these tools. And let's get back to terraforming some of this area to give ourselves a little bit more space, and subsequently breaking this shovel all over again. Hello? Are you good down there? Oh, you are? Oh, well, in that case, bye. Boy, what a mess do we have here. I mean, there's even a pair of floating leather pants amongst all of this rubble. But I think this should be a decent amount of space to work with. So the next thing we need to do is figure out what this thing is gonna look like. We kind of have an array of palettes going on in this village already. So I think for this house, we can pretty much go any way that we want with it. The one thing that's kind of consistent with these builds is that I used a lot of cobble as well as oak. So I'm thinking we at least incorporate those 2 blocks. Now, what else do we have that we could work with? What if we use some mangrove? That would pair really nicely with the oak and the cobble. And of course we have some spruce, which we can always use for trim if we want, but I think we could also tie in some dark oak as well. That would complement the mangrove really nicely too. All right, let's see what we got for the wood types. We got the mangrove, the oak, the spruce, and the dark oak. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of different wood types all at once, but they kind of work together. I don't feel like these blocks are too much in competition with one another. Rather, the contrast kind of works together. Now, of course, we're gonna be using the andesite and cobble as our base. However, what if we incorporated a little bit of granite and some brick to complement the mangrove? This is a much larger palette than what I usually go with, but I think they can all work together. It's pretty much all about how we place these blocks and utilize them. Now we have tons of mossy cobble and a little bit of andesite, but it looks like we need a little bit more cobblestone and definitely some more granite and brick. And of course, some mangrove, which, that's the worst tree to chop down. But you know what? It'll be worth it because the mangrove always looks really nice. But because I really don't want to chop that mangrove tree down just yet, I think I'm going to venture into the caves really quickly to gather us some more granite as well as some cobble. I love avoiding the difficult tasks, even though I have to end up doing them anyway. Oh, that scared me. Where did you come from? Oh, terrifying. All right, I think that's my signal that I'm done at least collecting some of this cobblestone and granite. Now I just need to find some andesite. Ah, there's some. Perfect. And that should be good for our andesite. So with all of that collected, that means we just need a little bit more brick and mangrove. All right, let's find ourselves some clay. And I'm just gonna use an iron shovel on this because our diamond one has silk touch, which makes it so we gather full blocks of clay instead of the clay balls. Toss this into the furnace, let it cook, and now it's time. Oh, okay, let's just get it done. All right, we've got 2 stacks and 1 log left over. You know what? I was chopping for quite some time, but that's not bad. I think that'll get us through this build at least. So all we need left are the bricks, and I would say we're pretty much good to go. So let's get this build started by laying down a footprint. Yeah, I think this placement is perfect. It's not blocked off by any of the builds, and there's a clear line where we can draw a path to it too. So we've got our trim down. Now all we have to do is start building up these walls. I'd like to give this build a little bit of height, so I think I'm gonna make the square portion 2 floors high, while the part on the right is gonna be 1 floor only. Now, I'm not gonna be building up an automated villager breeder within this space. I've built a bunch before, and honestly, they're incredibly useful. However, most of them are so efficient that I usually end up with villagers that I don't know what to do with. So I think I'm gonna go with the classic carrot and bed route. I think that's a really nice texture for the walls. I ended up incorporating some bricks into the mix just because I didn't want the walls looking too rough. Now that the main floor is done, let's get the second floor up on this piece. All right, we are getting there with the shape. All we have to do now is get a roof up and the general shape will be pretty much done. So let's start with the roof on the bottom half of this build. And I'm gonna use spruce for the trim. Now I want these roofs to rest a little bit lower, so I'm gonna primarily use slabs for them. And this is looking good, looking good. You can begin to see where we're going with this. Last but not least, it's time for the big old roof on top of this piece. And for that, I think I'm gonna go with dark oak. Okay, the shape is all done and in place and ready to go. Now there's still a ton of decorating to do on the exterior. I mean, let's face it, this thing looks like a box right now. Just a sad, lifeless box. But I think we might leave it that way for now, because I think the best thing to do now would be to get the villagers into the space so we can actually start making this villager breeder. Which means for once, we actually have to work on decorating the interior of a space first. I know. We're switching it up today. I think this is probably the best way to go, so then by the time we're probably done decorating the exterior, hopefully we'll have a villager ready who can give us some breaking. I think we can get rid of all of this here to bring some height back into the ceiling. And now we just have to figure out what we're gonna do with this space. Now, pretty much all of this space is gonna be home to, well, a ton of beds, but I also wanna make sure we have access to the upper floor. And the best way to save some space would be to get a spiral staircase in. So I'm gonna start with building up the beam. It seems as though I'm very high up right now. I didn't think about that. You know what? Let's just break this and see if we can water bucket clutch it. Oh! You saw nothing. All right, let's get this floor/ceiling in. Then from there, we can start putting our staircase up. And just to cover all of this oak up, I'm gonna put a trim around the edges here. There, that's looking good. So before we decorate and move all of our stuff in, I think we should probably figure out where our windows are gonna go. just so everything is properly sealed for when the villagers get here. Now I'm thinking we could probably pop out a couple windows here. And maybe a couple down here as well. Oh, and on the top floor as well. And then we'll make sure these windows and doors are sealed so the villagers can't get out. It's for their safety, of course. All right, the final thing that we need to do in here is decorate this with a bunch of beds and just some nice decorational things that they will enjoy. Except I need to remember, don't put any barrels in here. I'm probably gonna forget, but this is just a reminder to myself. Do not use barrels, because then the villagers are gonna take on the job of a fisherman and it's just gonna be a whole thing and it's just not gonna be fun. So we need a ton of beds, which is good because, oh look, in the last episode, we happened to make a wool farm. And would you look at that? Wool! Tons of it. All right, let's go with green beds. Maybe a couple brown beds too. That would be nice. And let's get these beds made. 6 green beds and maybe 6 brown beds. That should probably be good. And then from here, let's just start tossing in as many beds as we can. Ooh, you know what? We should probably put like a beam here or something. Hold on a second. There we go. Fancy. There, I think that should be more than enough beds. I don't think the villagers need too many. Just as long as there's a bed, that means a villager can spawn. So this should give us plenty of villagers. Now all we really need to do is decorate this to make it a little bit more cozy. Let's give the villagers some shelving. With that, we can give them some lighting, maybe some storage. How about a couple books to read as well? And of course, you can't forget the artwork. And last but not least, let's put some cozy carpet in. There, I think this is looking super cute and super cozy. We've got lots of space for the villagers to hang out in, lots of beds so they actually spawn, and most importantly, I think it's safe for them as well. So with that all done, I think we're ready to move them in. So as you can see, our terrain kind of goes like this, which means the boat is definitely out of the question. Now we could try to bring the villagers over by giving them job blocks and basically having them path to each job block. However, the problem is I tend to decorate with barrels everywhere, and the villagers are likely gonna latch onto these things, making it nearly impossible to bring them over. So our second option would be a rail system. But the problem is that's pretty expensive for iron, and I don't really have much of that at the moment. Well, actually, okay, I have a little bit, but also we do live above a mine shaft. So I say we head into the caves and grab some, just to make our lives a little bit easier with these villagers. Also, any iron I see along the way, I'm definitely gonna grab. All right, mine shaft located. Let's grab some of these rails. Diamonds, nice. Ooh, 8. Let's go. Whoops, almost forgot these rails. Got your toes. Ooh, rails. Exactly what we needed. Ooh, diamonds. This adventure is endless. So many good things we have found. Whee! Why are these so fun to collect? All right, we have about 3 stacks of rails and then some powered rails, plus a bunch of iron and a couple diamonds. I think we're pretty much ready to head out. Okay, I'm gonna make a leap of faith for it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Swag. All right, let's get out of here. Ooh, iron I dropped. Let's go. Back home again with all our goodies from the caves. Now let's get inside and get this stuff sorted. Let's start by cooking up some of this iron. And I think we have a couple extra rails. Yes, we do. Then we're gonna need some redstone dust for some torches so we can power these rails. And I think we can begin building up this rail system. Okay, so I had a little bit of what I would think is, whoa, what you doing, buddy? So let me free cam for just a hot second. As you can see, we have a pretty clear line of rail path all the way over here. However, I was starting to run out of rails. Well, at least the powered ones. I don't have any of those left. So I just basically cut the rail system off over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boat these guys over this way and just begin their path to the villager breeder from over here. I think that was pretty smart. All right, it's time to bring our villagers over to that spot. Hello, homie. How you doing? I know it's been a couple of days. We're just gonna move you on over here. And just as a precaution, I am gonna get another little box above this guy. I don't think he should be able to leave through here, so I'm going to get the minecart ready, and I'm gonna break this boat, and hopefully he'll just, you know, just scooch on in there. Come on. Just scooch on in the... Oh no. Oh no. It's not good. Uh-oh. That's not good either. He's fine. He's fine. All right, let's give him a little push. And let's see if this works. Oh, he's zooming. He's zooming. Bye. Oh, this seems to be working. And let's double check. He is safely in here. Gonna have to break some of this carpet, though, so we can push him in a little bit further, just to give ourselves a little bit more space. All right, you hang tight, dude, and we will be back in just a moment. Number 2, it is your turn. Let's get going. No time to waste. Let's bring you up into pod number 2, and we'll close this off. Get this cart in, and break this. And would you kindly go into that cart, please? Please, please. Sir, please. Why? Why do you make this so difficult? Stop swimming! Why do you like it so much? Maybe I can, like... Hold on a second. Oh, nope, he's out. He's out. Get in the cart. Oh, okay. He's in the cart. Now we push the cart, and then he goes to join his friend in the house. Bye! See you soon! Okay, they are in the villager house, all good to go. So all we really need to do is put our doors back like this and put trapdoors over top so they can't clear this because their big old heads can't get past the trapdoors. And I think we're safe to break them. There we go. Look at that. They can't get out, but because I have such a short head, I can. All right, that went pretty well, actually. Now all I need to do is clean up this mess. Alright, that's all cleaned up. So next what we gotta do is get these guys some food. Now you can pretty much give them anything, I believe, as long as it's edible, of course. So a lot of people tend to give them bread because that's easy to make, but I usually go for carrots because all I have to do really is harvest them and then we're good. And it's a good thing that we have a huge carrot field over here because that makes our lives so much easier. Now I believe we're gonna need a pretty good supply of carrots to start with. From what I remember, you have to basically keep giving the villagers food until they run out of inventory space. Once they have enough food for themselves, they then share it with the other villager, and then from there they make baby villagers. I cleared out that entire field, and I think I've got more than enough carrots with all of that. All right, let's start feeding these villagers. I am just gonna drop them a ton of carrots in hopes that they pick those up. There we go. All right, I think they might require some more, so let's drop them. How many carrots could you possibly want? Here, take more. They're cleaning my stock. What is going on? They've cleaned me right out. Okay, I looked it up to make sure I was doing this right, and apparently they only need a couple of carrots. So I'm starting to suspect that it's actually a me problem, and I lack patience. Oh, there we go. Okay. Baby villager! Let's go! Let's go! Okay, so it works. Hello. Hello, how are you? I do not have anything for you. He is just roaming around, going upstairs. But hey, this whole setup works. Amazing. Okay, so this is perfect. Because now, if we ever want to expand our village, you know, add some like librarians to different areas, or just make a whole trading hall, we can do that. Now, while we wait for that baby villager to grow up so we can turn him into a librarian, so we can get that sweet, sweet unbreaking, I think I'm gonna start decorating the exterior of this house. Basically, we just have a lot of work to do with blending it into the landscape, and of course, adding some details to the exterior to make this build come to life. So the first thing I'm gonna do is finally connect this build to the village. And this totally happened again. My apologies, I forgot to turn off the world map after I finished stream the other day, so that's gonna be hanging out in the corner for the rest of the video. However, if you enjoy the mod, let me know in the comments, and honestly, I might consider just leaving it for this series. Alright, and with that, let's keep decorating the exterior of this house. Why is there always gotta be rain when I'm trying to decorate exteriors? It won't stop me from still putting up this garden, though. Although thunder certainly will. Alright, let's get some coarse dirt along the edges, and close this off with some fencing. Now, all we really have to do is add some details to the top of the build, and we're pretty much done. right, and here is the build all decorated and ready to go. I feel like it really fits in theme with all the other builds in this area, kind of like it's been here all along. So for these decorations, pretty much all I did was add a little bit of a porch with an overhang just to give a little bit of shape here, but I also did add in an extra component to this build. There isn't anything inside of here, it's pretty much just aesthetic, but I just wanted to bring in a little bit more shape on the side. After that, I pretty much decorated out the windows, added some leaves, some gardens. This build felt kind of cottagecore to me, so I kind of just tried to lean into that. So I added a bunch of roses, tall planters, and a bunch of leaves everywhere. And yeah, I think this turned out really nice. So everything's all done, it's decorated, it's set to go. All of the villagers are happy in here, they seem to be chilling. Oh my gosh, there's a new villager resident. I didn't even realize. And you've grown up too. Well, this is just perfect. Well, I think you all know what this means. I am definitely just gonna tear up this path that I just made. If we're gonna be constantly carting villagers out of this house, I think we're gonna have to change up the pathing around here. Dirt just makes things so much trickier because you can't actually place anything on top of it. All right, I didn't really need any of these power rails. I just didn't have any regular ones in my inventory, so that'll do. And as for the villagers, oh, it looks like there is another baby villager on its way. I just realized the baby villagers can escape. Oh no, oh no. I didn't think that through. No! Oh, he's back in. He decided, you know what? The outside life, it's not for me. Honestly, fair enough, I relate. Now, if you all could just get away from this cart. Oh my gosh. Hey! Stop it! Stop being a menace! Well, I guess I have no choice but to install a baby gate. Yep, that's what it's come down to. Go this way, come on. Yes, it worked. Okay, perfect. We made it. Slow and steady, but we did it. You know, I never really considered that. The fact that a powered rail not on would actually stop things. That makes sense. I learned something new today. There you go, dude. All right, is there anything in here that you could take as a job block? I don't think so. So all I need to do is make sure that this is safe for you so you can't escape. All right, buddy, it's time for the fun part. Now I'm just gonna awkwardly stare at you until you turn into a librarian. Maybe I should release you? I don't really trust you in here though, honestly. I really don't. Yep, things are going well. All right, I couldn't trust this guy. He was all over the place. So I put him in a little bit of a pod just to make this whole process a bit easier. And now all I really have to do is just roll until I get unbreaking. Oh my gosh, there it is. I'm gonna trade this for now, just so we can lock in this trade and it doesn't go away. All right, let's run over to Mr. Stick Guy really quickly so we can get some more emeralds. We have cats now. Oh my gosh, another Ruth cat. We have an iron golem now. Oh, this is good. Since we have so many villagers now, iron golems are gonna start spawning to protect them, which means we might be able to make an iron farm next. So that's definitely something we can consider. Hello, good day. Well, yeah, I think it's safe to say that I gave them a good amount of carrots because boy, oh boy, do we have villagers. All right, back to the task at hand and getting some emeralds, which he doesn't want to trade with us. That's okay though, because librarians like paper and books, and we have a couple of librarians to trade with now. All right, let's craft up a bunch of paper so we can also make some books. And let's trade as much as we can with this guy. And we've got 37, which means we can finally buy ourselves an unbreaking book. Yes, would you look at this? All right, where is he? Oh, there you are. You have like legs of steel to be able to do that. You know that? How are you holding yourself up right now? Anyway, okay, I'm gonna buy unbreaking from you because it is finally time. Yes! Unbreaking. Amazing. So we finally have an unbreaking book and a villager that we can go back to for even more books. Now, to commemorate this special event, let's finally put unbreaking on one of our tools that so badly needs it. And I think because of all the pain that my axe went through constantly breaking that lectern, we should definitely put unbreaking on it. And what will we name this? Perhaps we name it... I didn't say it. The axe did. All right, I feel so much relief knowing we have that really important enchantment at our disposal, which means we no longer have to worry about losing durability on our tools so fast. Well, we got a huge project accomplished today. we finally have villagers. Like, more than I anticipated. But hey, that's a good thing. That means we can keep working on getting enchantments. Plus, that also means we can sort out our iron issue soon. I'm looking at you, buddy. Alright, everybody, I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. We conquered a really big project on this base today, and I am so happy that we got it done. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one.